Hey, yo, welcome back. Another episode. This is the Industry Mindset Podcast. I'm your host, Yamzy Tetrum. And for this episode, we've got a creative director, content creator, marketing guru.
Tell them.
Marketing guru. For those who don't know, I've got Mwabi Phiri.
Hi guys.
Mwabi, thank you so much for coming on the podcast, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Actually, I've always wanted to be on a podcast.
You've always been a podcast?
Yeah, dude. Like when you messaged us, I was so excited. I was like, yeah.
Because I remember also me reaching out to you was just because your content on TikTok. Yeah, it's very insightful. It's very, very much insightful. So when I was seeing how you're able to also analyze certain things, I was able to see that, okay, you know what? I think this is a conversation that many people, especially in the entertainment industry right now, would want to like also tap into those type of thoughts that you're having on TikTok. So the first thing that I want to dive into in terms of digital marketing is that is there any way that you identify yourself as? Do you call yourself a digital marketer, influencer?
I think I'm a marketer, right? Mm-hmm. So obviously, I do a lot of work on social media just because I've seen how powerful social media has been for other people's businesses and for personal brands. And so like there's a strategy there, but there's also an influencer angle to it. Before I was doing a lot of marketing videos, I was doing like get ready with me. I was like very fashion focused, and that is the influential side. I still work with a clothing brand and I do get involved in modeling things here and there, but like just not that often anymore because I'm more focused on work. Mm-hmm. But I'd categorize myself as more of, I'd say, a content creator. I think that's the key.
Do you think it's important for someone to actually identify, or should you feel as if you should just carry yourself as a marketer?
Be like water. But I think it's good to put yourself at least be like water, but be in a container. You know, let people know exactly what they're getting. So that's, I think, the best way to put it. A niche is very important. And once you've solidified yourself in one place, you can start to move around a bit and then try to attract a few other people. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. It's a thin line for me between being a content creator and being an influencer. Mm. Can we maybe just help us like break down the difference between influencer and the content creator? Because for me personally, I feel as if a content creator can make content out of anything. I think that's one thing that if you're a content creator, you should be able to say that, okay, fine, tell me what it is, and then I'll be able to create a whole story out of it. But influencer, I feel as if it's a more personal thing, where it's really about who you are as a person. Maybe you can also share one or two.
I think we have to break down the definitions. So with a content creator, and I know it's bad to define something with the same words it's made from, but it's someone who creates content. Mm-hmm. But content can be like a video. Content is like a graphic designer as a content creator, because a graphic in itself is a piece of content. Okay. It's an asset. Okay. While an influencer is around the same thing. It's not from content, but it's someone who influences other people. So if you're an influencer, you're someone who can maybe recommend something. You're a trusted voice in space. So now you pick your lifestyle, you know, you have like people who do makeup, and they're influencers because if they say, oh, I'm using the Fenty Beauty this. If you do makeup, you're a bit like, oh, I love the way she does her face. I want to do that as well. Mm-hmm. They've been influenced. But a content creator can also influence people. It's a very thin line. There's a lot of similarities, but I think maybe the objective is different. With a content creator, your objective is to create content. With an influencer, your objective is to, you know, like push people to something. Yeah. You can also say that with a content creator, it's wrong for you to approach a content creator and be like, I'm gonna need maybe sales. I'm gonna need this in return. But with the influencer, they have to now come in to say, well, okay, if you want me to be an influencer for your brand, I'm gonna guarantee you this, and this. Like you're latching onto like my following. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? With a content creator, it's more about the actual content itself.
You're delivering a piece.
Yeah, like this is dope. I want that. So I want a content creator. With an influencer, it's like, you know, oh, literally every athlete in Malawi follows you. Of course, if I'm doing a sports brand, I need you to be my influencer.
Uh-huh. And I think that's one thing that a lot of people, I feel as if a lot of people are not understanding. Because a lot of people want to be paid sums that are really big for for delivery of content without promising influence at the end of it or promising a result that can make business sense.
And a lot of people are taking advantage of that.
Of that lack of understanding.
Yeah, because you find a business owner who maybe through word of mouth or through TikTok has seen that, oh, like content has changed this business's life, right? And you've seen, for example, like let's say someone is now generating like 1 million kwacha a month, right? Because of TikTok. So you say that, oh, if I do this for my business and I'm getting 1 million kwacha a month extra, like that's dope. So you call like a content creator or an influencer and you're like, yo, I want you, but you don't even like pick a niche or anything. You just say, hey,
You just pick someone.
for your followers, come work with me, right? Then they'll charge you 300K. So that's about 30% of the million. So you're like, you know what? I'm just losing 30% of what I could be earning. And then you don't earn anything.
And that's what's probably even discouraging people from investing in that. It would be like, why?
But they haven't put the steps in place to ensure that they've made a smart bet on content. They've just seen that, oh, they watched the TikTok video. I'm shooting myself in the foot because I'm the TikTok video guy. But they watched the TikTok video.
Yeah.
And they've maybe spoken to their relative, their nephew, their cousin, a Gen Z somewhere. And then they're just like, okay, cool. Let me just get someone to come and be like, bro, have you seen Zeze Kingston is on everything? I have never looked like he has a deal with these meat guys, right? I don't know the brand yet. I've never seen that billboard and thought to myself, I want to go buy meat from them.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't correlate.
That's true.
And they've probably paid him crazy amounts of money for that. They're using his likeness, but I don't know if it's really matched up to what they wanted. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good example. That's a really good example. I think one thing that because you've just brought in Zeze's brand, because now when it comes to Zeze, that's one brand in your personally I've loved how they've managed it all the way through, because a lot of people haven't understood that the reason why Zeze is relevant now is not necessarily because of the music, but it's also now becoming who he is as a person. What he represents enjoyment. So I feel as if I really don't know if they really consider it, because when people want to enjoy,
they think all the meat. So, and say a braai or something.
I feel as if maybe they haven't really gone too far with it. But then when you look at the deal that he has with any given money, right?
Yes.
That deal, that one makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That deal makes sense because again, it's enjoyment, and this is the party master.
He's literally like the minister of enjoyment.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And I loved how he even came out after some time and he ends up saying that I will no longer perform on the set list. I'll be at the end, because as soon as the show ends, it's a what? It's a party. So he keeps bringing back that mentality to say that when you think of me, just nobody, you're supposed to have a good time.
Literally.
That's pretty much it. So I think maybe for the gourmet guys, they haven't really utilized him so much. They just use his face, but maybe down the line, you're going to start seeing that this is doing a pop-up braai.
Bro.
He's doing pop-up braai.
Pop-ups, like he's the guy braaiing. He's there.
Literally, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
I think we need to get hired for their marketing coach. Go meet.
Hey, call us.
Because literally, I'm just giving them a whole play.
Whole thing.
A whole play.
You get to taste the meat. You're selling the product right there. You're selling the party. You're selling the lifestyle. Every time people think of a braai, boom.
You saw how they did, but they did like vouchers though. When they're opening new stores.
Go meet.
Yeah, the go meet. Nice. When they open new stores, so Zeze and Drake putting up at the weekend. So I think that's part of also the deal that they had with those guys. But that's really what's happening. I think you've also raised a good point that right now companies are really just reaching out to people and they're losing money. Then just like, that's not true. Let's go back to radio. Let's go back to TV.
What we know.
Do you feel as if maybe us also as content creators were playing a role in that? Because in negotiations, when we're accepting these deals, we're just accepting what they're giving us without really saying, this is my podcast. Do you think you have to have that conversation when someone's engaging you? Or like when you get engaged, do you actually say that, okay, listen, what I'm bringing you is X, Y, Z.
So in terms of the conversations that I've had, most of them have come from like word of mouth.
Okay.
And if you've heard about me through word of mouth, you know my background.
Okay.
When I was in SA, we did 600K followers across platforms. You go onto the page, there's 19 million views there. on one video. You know my take. That doesn't mean that I can guarantee someone a 19 million view video.
Okay.
But what it does mean is I know how to generate that sort of content, right? I understand the frameworks behind it, understand what needs to be put in place. I can watch a video and say, yeah, they've cooked, right? But for you to hit certain amounts, a bit of it is luck. A bit of it is just you posted on the right day, the right person reposted. Like, you can tell when something is just helping because someone's reposted. Like, I remember on Twitter, in my early days on Twitter, back in like 2019, I'd post a tweet, and if I felt like this was really funny, I had a cousin with 2,000 followers. I had 50 followers. My cousin had 2,000 followers. If I thought this tweet was really funny, I'd call her and say, bruh, retweets. She'd retweet. I'd take my thing from 4 likes to 50. That's not much, but like, that's about, if you're doing percentages, that's a couple thousand %, you know, so sometimes just about the right person seeing it at the right time. It's the same thing with getting brand deals. You can post a video that gets 100 views, but if someone just says that, hey, you know, if we get this guy in front of the camera, he's charismatic, they've called you, you know what I mean?
So basically, we're paying like a probability.
Yeah. So when you have someone who's done it repeatedly and they can promise you that they are an expert, it's like you're increasing your chance of success because you're working with someone who understands what it takes to get from point A to point B. Compared to people who kind of understand it, where now instead of a 50% chance, you're dealing with maybe a 30% chance of success. So that's what you have to like keep in mind when you approach these people.
I think that's a good insight as well, because I know me, I'm approaching you in a very strict manner.
It also depends on the type of content, right? Because like, for example, I'll go back. So I have another client and he does more serious content. Like he's like, we don't crack jokes. Like, we're not silly on his page. We had one video that hit like, I think now it's on 75,000 views. Yeah, right. So that's our highest, and we've been working for like 3-4 months. And now he can never ask me for a video that's hit like 1 million, because we don't make content that penetrates like that. It's not, our content isn't it doesn't travel, it doesn't have distance.
Okay.
It has depth.
Okay.
So people watch and they say, oh, I resonate with this. I need this person's help. On the other side, when we're making people laugh, like laughter is so universal. Like if you crack a joke, like you can have the whole room laughing. But if you share some deep insights on, let's say on marketing, if like 5 people out of the 10 in the room don't care about marketing, they're not going to laugh. They're not going to like,
they're not going to engage with it like that. So basically your history, social media pages, like handling on social media pages.
Yeah, I do.
You do?
Yeah.
So right now you just brought some good insight to see that it's not every content that is supposed to go viral, or it's not everything that's supposed to hit. Some content is actually supposed to be at a certain level.
It's supposed to be very, like, it's obviously nice to get views. Like, it's really nice. It's so good for like your head, right? Like when you see, it's very, it's a, what do you call it? It's like a vanity metric. Like you see views and you're like, hey, it's a good thing. But like, if it's not really helping you get from point A to point B, all you've got is views. Because I always give this analogy to people. If I'm working with serious people, I always say, look, if you want 1 million views, go shake your ass on camera. Like I always tell, if you want 1 million views, go shake your ass on camera. If you actually want sales, bro, like we have to do something else. You know, we have to do something else. So like, don't expect. So I always tell people like to be transparent. I'm like, bro, like if we get 1,000 views, okay, 1,000 is low. If we get like 5,000, like let's just be happy with that.
But it's 1,000 low though.
It gets the. Well, you want to have 1,000 as a baseline.
Okay.
You don't want videos going below that.
Okay.
Right. If you hit 1,000, you can be quite confident that at least one person there, you know, can do something for you. But like as a baseline, 1,000 is like, it's decent. But you don't want to be peaking at 1,000.
So it's wrong to make metrics become like just one thing to say, well, yeah, no, Kango is Zutega because he's hitting these type of views. You can actually hit those views and actually have no sales, no results whatsoever.
Yeah. You can hit 1 million views and haven't you seen like those pages where, let's say you bump into someone on TikTok or on Instagram and you swipe onto their page and you see that they have like, their likes would be like, let's say 300k likes, right? And they have one pinned video and it has like 1 million views. And you watch that and it could be a vlog or something, or not even a vlog. It would be something random. Like they could be showing off like a product. Every other video in their thing has nothing to do with that. It's all like it'll just be like them living their life day to day. So it's not even something they can replicate. There's no, like, what they've done is essentially just put out a piece of content that went viral. Shout outs.
Shout out for
But like, that hasn't helped. Maybe it's helped them in ways that we don't understand. But in terms of their brand, if they're trying to build a brand, if they're trying to be known for something, that hasn't helped them. It doesn't fit what they're trying to do, but it's just gone viral.
So if someone right now is being given the job of a social media marketer, or if someone is actually dreaming of also being a social media marketer in any type of way, from what I'm also understanding, but also the way I view it, I feel as if it's important to make sure that you're actually putting out the message, and rather than actually checking on how viral that video that you put out is going. Because one thing that I've also realized is here, a lot of people were going in the comedic round. I don't know if you've ever analyzed the Malawian psychology of the way people want to respond to content, but usually everybody goes into comedy somehow. You have to find your way into comedy.
Everyone does.
Do you find like the comedy thing to be like necessary as well? Like where does the funny videos, how necessary is that into?
I think when used correctly, I think funny videos are very powerful. So even in my own serious content, I'm trying to be a bit funnier. So not like overall being a funny person, but just cracking a few more jokes in there. Because when I rehearse these things, when I think about them, I always crack like 3 or 4 jokes. But then now when I'm actually scripting, I get so serious. So I go like, I'll look at a joke and I'll say like, is this joke necessary to get my point across? If my answer is no, and it's always no, I scrap the joke. So I think comedy helps, especially for that distance. Like making someone laugh has so much value in terms of just making them engage with your content. If someone laughs, they'll like, they'll follow, they'll bookmark, they'll comment, and you're like happy. Like if someone laughs, you're going to get a lot out of them compared to just telling someone like straight up, like, oh, do this. They can hear it and be like, okay, yeah, but they can literally swipe away, put their phone down, go do it, and then not even come back to your content. And then you know what I mean? Like I posted like 2 videos like 3 days ago. One got like 1,800 views or something around there. And the other one is sitting on like 200, right? And the one with 200, the 2 comments that I saw, it had 4 comments, and 2 of them were, one was someone just saying following. The next one was someone saying, you're so insightful. And like that was 200 views.
Just 200.
But like that for me was that video is what got someone to say that I'm going to follow this person. I want to see more of what they have to do. While the other one that got more things, like people were gassing it up, like fire emojis, but it was like my G's. So you know what I mean? So that's my G's saying, oh, you did your thing. But it wasn't necessarily something that helped me.
That translated to something else.
Something else, yeah.
I really hope a lot of people are going to start really analyzing things that way as well before throwing money into something, because that analysis is really what's going on for you. Someone can really have 700 followers or 700 views, but that video alone has just changed their life.
Literally, bro. All it takes is one person. That one person to see it and be like, oh, I have an idea for you. You know what I mean? It's like someone watches this podcast and sees this, says, oh, this is a very good podcast. They put money behind it. We could have got like 5 views, though. But just one person sees it and goes like, I want to put money behind it.
I want to put money behind it. I know exactly what to fix. This person, I think the way they're seeing it, they can actually manage this.
Another thing is, it doesn't have to be like the right person, but it can be the right person of a person of a person. So I even get messages from people saying, yo, hi, I need your help. And I'll be like, oh, what's up? How'd you find me? And they'll be like, oh, my cousin.
Okay.
I don't even know the cousin. So someone who's seeing you on TikTok, and then they were like, oh, I see this guy, like talk to him. So even things like that where people might think that, oh, you know, I'm just posting and no one's seeing. Like someone's seeing. We just need to be convinced, you know?
Nah, 100%. I'm one advocate always telling people to always be intentional with what they're doing because of exactly those type of results. Because when you're intentional with it, people are they're going to be able to, like minds are going to be able to link to say, I think this person, the way he's being intentional with this, he can actually manage this, or he can actually handle this or handle that as well. Okay. Have you noticed anything special about like marketing locally from your experience?
So when I came into like the marketing scene just in general, right?
Yeah.
I was very excited because I'm an ideas guy. I'm a creative, so I was like, what if we did this? What if we did this? But the one thing that I'll shout out Ian. Ian helped me to like realize this is you got to keep it simple, right? Because you can have this great idea and this elaborate thing and like this clever wordplay, but like, I don't know how, for example, wait, sorry, let me catch. If it's too clever, Malawians won't get it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you can have this crazy idea and crazy plan, but you always have to ask yourself, like, because most businesses in Malawi are doing mass marketing. They're trying to get as many sales to as many people as possible. You have to also ask yourself, like, when I say these things, like, is that actually going to vibe with just a random guy walking in my Wandio? You know what I mean? Like, if he sees it, is he going to be compelled to now say, what is this, to investigate? If not, if he just sees like extraordinary, he's moved on with his life. Bro. You spent 10 days creating this amazing thing. Like, like you could have a product called Extras Biscuits and you put up extraordinary flavor.
Yeah, what is this, man?
They've moved on with their life. You might have thought that was the cleverest thing you could have done, but it just wasn't the right fit for the market. So I think the Malawi market, you have to really understand who you're trying to talk to. That's the number one thing. Don't try to be too clever. Don't try to be too cool. You know what I mean? Like, keep it simple.
Speed. You have to make it quick too. Diffusive. Because there's this thing about short term and long content.
You see, I'm a big advocate of long form content.
Yeah.
I'm a big advocate. YouTube, podcasts, anyone who wants to actually
Do
be
something.
loved.
Oh? Okay.
Like, do something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, people love what you're doing.
Yeah.
Needs to be doing long form. And I'll go back to the Sidemen.
Okay, I know that.
And you know how they do like, what's this thing? The charity game.
Okay.
And someone pointed out that when they're introducing people, so they'll introduce like a rapper, they'll introduce like YouTubers, they'll introduce streamers, TikTokers. The people who get the most like cheers are the streamers. And you notice that the people who got more cheers are the people who spend more time with the audience. A streamer can be on stream for 8 hours. YouTube video is 1 hour. A TikTok is 30 seconds. How many TikToks do you have to make to match a YouTube video? You have to make like a lot, right? So it's about the amount of time that you spend with people. I'm a big advocate of long form. I think people should be figuring out ways to maximize how much time that they can spend with their people. Yeah. Mainly for personal branding. I think if you sell something, like if you have a physical store and you're selling stuff, maybe just focus on TikTok.
Just to tap into like your marketing brain a little bit, because there's also a debate that's going on currently online about entertainers or entertainment not really knowing how to market themselves, right? So every time people are saying like, the film industry, the reason why it's not growing as much is because people are not marketing themselves enough. I don't know if you've consumed any Malawian films recently.
Recently, no.
Mahona Prison.
No.
School Days.
That's only my third day out here, man. I don't know.
But did they pop up when you followed this?
No.
They didn't pop up when you followed this?
My For You page is not like I told you, bro, like the only like proper Malawian pieces of content that I get Alpha, because me and Alpha follow each other. Serene, same reason. Xylo, same reason. And these are all like Gen Z charts. And then I get Shipmark. And this kid that I saw the other day, I think his name is Real. So he does like Get On You Me. Okay. And they do it in Chichewa. DN. And I was like, this kid, I love this.
When you said Xylo, which is Xylo?
It's like XYLO. He does.
I don't know.
He does a lot of dance. I haven't seen him do much recently. I see that.
Okay, but how do you think, if I was to give you the task right now to say you're part of the crew for marketing a film in Malawi, what measures do you think you would start with, or where do you think you would start with to say, okay, fine, I have a film coming out. What do I do with this one?
This is actually a very interesting question. Phil. Okay, obviously it depends on the nature of the film, right? But the first thing you could do is essentially try to figure out like a narrative. So usually films push broader ideas, right? So it could be like, what was that? Like, was it Fatsan? That film, wasn't that about overcoming something? I think it was. That was from
that one there, okay.
Oh, okay. Well, boy, you harness the wind. You know, okay, overcome something. So you've latched onto this theme of overcoming. And now, because a film is something digital, it's very powerful to now use physical activations. So you can still focus on TikTok to actually capture these physical activations, but you look at all these different ways that you can say, how can we push this idea of overcoming?
Okay, so basically, from what I'm getting, what you're saying is that if you're with marketing of movies, you have to now start to also be able to do whatever drove you to make that movie. You should now be able to also use it in your marketing, rather than just saying, "Goody, hey, I've got this movie coming out," or you just go through the usual things. Goody, come through and watch it, but at least do something or some content that will be in line with what the movie is actually trying to do,
and pay people to talk about the movie. The other issue with like Malawi is we don't have enough external, like third-party marketers. So I know that if you've seen people who do marketing content online and they'll talk about things, right? Other brands like big marketing companies like Oklahoma, A24, they will pay influencers to talk about their campaign.
I feel like that's so. It's really true. I guess the allegations might be true that a lot of people feel entitled to being marketed because it's like, I'm doing something for the country and you guys are not recognizing it, but they're also not recognizing it in the country until Vujiga pay them, have a budget to really now start identifying someone to talk about the fact that there's a movie coming.
And just make sure that they talk about it in a way where it doesn't seem like, so you have to make it fit. For example, if you're doing a movie promo, haven't you ever like gone on TikTok and searched up movies to watch? And then you see people who do that, right? So imagine someone like that. If you have a movie coming out, all you have to do is call that person and say, yo, I want you to do a thing recommending this movie. I'll send you the trailer, or you can, whatever you need. How much would that cost?
I love how you said that. How you said that the moments whereby you actually go online and then you search somebody to say movies to watch, and you actually know that there are these guys who do literally talk about like, yo, I watched this movie, I like this movie, this and that, this and that. Because I see a problem locally whereby when somebody starts to get numbers, right, when they really start to blow up, they're just either gonna go straight into comedy or they're gonna start becoming Torankan. Going on that page, they now start breaking the latest gist. It's like, bro, you have people clearly like something about you, and you have, instead of you now thinking of, okay, let me use what I'm doing to uplift an industry. Like, I can literally become that film person. I can literally become that sportswear person. I can literally become this kind of person. But it's like, okay, with my fame, I think, let me talk about the latest scandal today.
You start getting too caught up in those vanity metrics. You're like,
oh yeah,
you get too caught up in, you're chasing those numbers because that's what you're selling to brands. If you stay true to what you're doing, you're always gonna like have heavy fluctuations, but you're always gonna have videos that are like low and really high. But it's faithfuls. It's the people who love your brand. When you start talking just, bro, you're gonna just get
because you know
bangers.
No, I think you're really onto something that I think it really is getting lost in the matrix. You just say, when I get a stand, I hit like 3 point something, and when I'm in the street, everyone's like, but he broke that.
Yeah.
But when you do something so specific to say movies, that's when the only people who are calling you are movie directors to say, hey, I need you to talk about this one. You're getting that, you're showing up to these premieres for free or something, or whatever agreements. You're having a good time doing something that you actually love. You really love watching movies every day.
Literally, you have companies that have like people who are specifically paid to help these, like they're scouts, but they're like, and they build the relationship with them. So you can have like the CEO of a company, for example, let's say Airtel, right? He would have never met a specific archetype that maybe they're looking for someone with Wi-Fi. They find someone who always works from home, right? So now they're like, so it could be someone who works from home. It could be like, let's say me. Right? If I was working from home, wink, right? And then I just have to make a video saying, guys, if you work from home, if you're gaming, because these are all the things that I do, this 5G router has changed my life, right? I don't even have to say the prices or anything. I say, guys, this Airtel router has changed my life because I am doing my thing And you can just say, you just throw shade to other people. You say, but all these other Malawian service providers are not giving me the speeds that I need. This is the first time that I've been able to do my things like proper. So shout out, right? Now when they're doing a launch, they can call me, but the CEO won't call me back. It's the relationship guy who says, oh, we saw your video, or thank you for that video.
Oh, yeah.
We've sent you, like your trans ID's landed, but we also have a thing pop up, come through, pretend we've just, invited you, make your content to it. Now people can see that anyone who wants to be like me, anyone who's aspiring to be like me, has this taken a liking to Airtel because they're treating me right, and I'm vouching well for them. And I haven't even, and they don't even know that it's all paid for because you do it in such an authentic way.
I think that's really how it benefits to be specific for real. Be on your proper tips, show your lane nicely. That's now when the relationship guys are gonna be able to now identify you, and that's when now you really start to work. But if you're just open, broad, then you can get deals here and there, but then it can also lead you to frustration because now it's like, I'm getting numbers though. Right. No one is giving me a deal. No one's giving me, they're giving me small money. But it's like, because we can't really align with you. Where are you, man? Are you just, are you this? Where are you?
Tell us what you're trying to do so that we can properly like profile you. You know what I'm saying?
Nice. But that's the culture here. To be specific feels like it's the worst thing you can ever do. But I hope somebody watching this now is going to have that type of perspective to be like, okay, I think I should actually find out what lane for myself
or stick to it.
Or an industry that I feel as if I have the power to actually uplift so that they can actually say, well, yeah, you're bringing us value.
Literally. I've seen this, I saw some guy now, but he's working for the company, but he's doing car videos. So he was showing off like a Mazda and everything. It was very like you've seen those car video guys on. So it was like that. And I was like, that's great. Because this guy, if he keeps on doing that, that's what he's going to be known for.
Exactly.
And now as we all know it's going to happen, Chinese car companies are going to start coming and putting cars. We all know it's going to happen.
It's going to happen?
It's going to happen. Those guys are too quick.
Okay.
They're good. I've seen like 2 Chinese cars.
You're actually cooking. I've also put in there.
That guy, when someone just searches up cars, Malawi, search, they see his face, find his name, call him. We have a car coming in. We want you to do it. Because his brand aligns with it. He's got the follow for it. And he's got the authority. Like everything is perfect. Chinese thing, bro. You just tell them how you name your price, bro. You name your price, bro. These guys sell cars, bro. You name your price, bro.
The way you can hit when this guy comes out to say good evening, the Chinese vehicle, that one is gonna travel.
Bro, let's just start making car videos, bro.
I think that's a lane that people should really tap into for real.
Yeah, because the other guys that are doing it, I saw Director Benjamin did one as well, and I liked his video. His video did very well because he also made it look like he was buying a car, but it was an ad, right? Which was very. Like it's gonna get views, and I think when I saw it, it had like 1,000 likes already. So I was like, yeah, that guy, he's done his thing. He's done that, and he does aesthetic ones for cars as well. So he's got the experience. So he's also another person that I think if these Chinese manufacturers come in, they're gonna be like, yo, that guy
can move it.
Yeah, he can move it.
He can move it.
Yeah.
Right now with your content, bro, your content is also very educative. And do you do like coaching? Workshops type of thing? Because honestly, one day I wanted to pay eventually when I know I was like, I think this guy can help me learn 1 or 2 things on how to use my phone.
Bro, content can give you a headache. That's one thing I'll say.
Okay.
I am going into coaching. That's something I'm looking at. I've got 1 client. I've got 2 clients I'm helping at the moment, right? So I'm shifting away from helping brands. Okay, well, I still help brands because I have a marketing agency, a creative agency with these 2 other guys, which is like really cool and everything. And we'll focus on brands. So I'm also trying to sharpen my sword in terms of just individuals, right? So that's what I'm doing on my own. I want to get into the workshop space. I want to launch like a whole program. Right, I'm going to do it proper. I'm going to get YouTube videos out. I'm going to record the classes and everything. I've got my new camera now. So I just have to sit down and say, how do we do it? You also have to fight imposter syndrome. Because you're like, if I record a video and it's 30 minutes long, like, is this really a mod? Yeah, I mean, like, I'm like, are people really going to look at this and say they want to pay for that? But you have to break that thing.
Forward, yeah.
Yeah, so I am getting into all of that, but it's just going to happen with time. I'm still also like quite busy juggling what I currently have to juggle.
So it's not happening anytime soon, but it's just something in the back of your head.
Now it'll be soon. I'm very, I don't like to sit on things. I think give it month end.
Oh,
Month end.
okay, all right, fine.
Yeah, month end. I should be starting something. It's going to be cool. I'll call it the On Top Boys.
The what? On Top Boys?
On Top Boys.
So you're excluding it.
That's why I'm also trying to, okay, so that's another thing for like
marketing, bro.
the thing is, and one of my clients is a girl.
Okay.
So now I'm even like, do I talk to her first and just say, so I'm going to call this thing the On Top Boys, but just know like, cause you're my boy, you know what I mean? Like we dogs. So like, I'm still playing it like, but I want to incorporate the words on top.
Okay.
In some aspect, right? So yeah, that's something I'm looking at.
Now, okay, fair enough. Sure, I think that's something that I would also be down to see just because of how you also dissect your things. I would also want to tap into that for sure. I don't know if there's any other topic that you wanted to do. Or
nothing as specific. On your end, like what does this podcast look like in like 2-3 years?
In 2-3 years, this podcast should have at least proper mics, but I'm hoping that by the time no, I really need the proper mics, but I hope that by the time in 2-3 years, this podcast is gonna really be home to where someone can be able to know where to start from. Right? I wanna provide the entertainment industry with that type of knowledge for someone to be like, okay, let me analyze myself. Where am I failing or where am I succeeding? Or I've noticed that about myself that, okay, many people are liking me, but I haven't thought about where can I take that to. So that's what I'm hoping, that this podcast can be home to, let people to be able to analyze also what's happening, deals, news that's breaking, and how does it affect them, so that they can also be able to keep themselves on their feet with the dynamic industry that is entertaining. That's what I'm hoping this podcast will be like in 23 years.
Okay, I like that.
Because I was a producer, and now I'll put it on the side because I've seen how the industry is not that much formalized for someone to actually say, oh, I'm actually in business. So that's one thing that really put me off a lot. So that's why it inspired me to actually say, I'm going to make this thing so that I can actually help people who are in a better position than me to do better.
To just get that next level.
To just get to that next level properly without any struggle, no fights. Everyone should be together. Like, okay, it's my carriage.
I think we need like that sort of thing. Like we need like not a crash course, but like a guide on the starts.
Facts.
Because there's so many things like in this industry that you're not going to understand. But when you start speaking to people, they all like confirm it. So I always told people like, Malawi is slow. Like for things to happen here, it is slow. No one else tells you that unless something has just happened to them. Right? They'll always agree with you and say, hey, yeah, facts, because something like that has happened. But we need a workshop where we just tell people, like, if you're going to start running a business, if you're going to be prepared for this, because get there.
You're heavily discouraging too, man. Hey, I feel as if when you break it, you find out you have paid for it.